Good afternoon, and from wherever you are watching us from, welcome to Y254. It is 1 p.m. and it is the touchline. It has been a very good week when it comes to sports here in the country and abroad. The Champions League was played, the Europa League was played, and there was someone who said Thursday night football, and if you don't watch that, you are in trouble. But it's also a week where we have seen the Kenya Rugby Union appoint a new Rugby Sevens coach. How is it going to fare on? It's a discussion that we are going to have here on the touchline. But the biggest story that is coming out of the sports circles has been the problems that Harambee Stars has been facing on their trip to Ethiopia for the Group F Africa Cup of Nations qualifier 2019. I'm not alone here today, and my co-host today is sports journalist and also odds analyst Lonnie Aloyo. How are you, my guy?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, Maze.
It's a pleasure to be back on the show, and a very great weekend it is.
Yeah.
The last edition of the Kenyan Premier League 2018 season, and it promises to be exciting as it was on the first day, especially on the relegation battles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, today is the last matches of the Kenya Premier League. Gor Mahia has already gone with the trophy, and it is the last match. But when we shift our focus to the relegation battle, people have to be happy that Western Stima is back into the Kenya Premier League.
Well, FC Leopards is not particularly happy because it's a team that keeps beating FC Leopards year in, year out.
Yes.
But, well, they've gone down, they fought back, and they're back into the Kenyan Premier League. But then it's still going to be tight because we still have KCB, Ushuru, and Nairobi Stima still contending to be back to the top flight football. So I think there's quite a lot to watch there, as well as Posta Rangers, who are likely to go down.
Yes, it is going to be a tricky battle because now Posta Rangers, who are actually number 16 on the KPL log, are supposed to play Ushuru, who by any chance they finish third, will be in a playoff. Is it a tight spot for Ken Kenyatta or for Sami Pamzo? Well,
I think for Pamzo it's a tighter spot than it is for Ken Kenyatta, because Pamzo has had a very good team, has the support from the management, has the finances, has the experience. So for him to be at this stage of relegation for a club of Posta's stature, then it's really unfortunate for him. And I think he's found himself between a rock and a hard place.
A tough one for Posta Rangers there. But we're going to talk about Wazito FC. They came one season up. Seems that the Kenya Premier League was not made. Wazito FC was not made for the Kenya Premier League. It was tough for them on the top flight level.
Well, maybe you could say it happens because you come into the league your first season, you're excited, so you're not really prepared to fight the big boys. It's expected. I think for them now it's to go back, reorganize the team, get the proper finances, and come back now a bit re-energized.
And for a very long time, actually for I think 4 or 5 seasons, Thika United have been on the last hurdle of going to relegation, but they have managed to stay on top of it. But this time around, it was not their luck.
Well, remember that time when there was the issue of the CAF club licensing? Thika survived the axe, but now I think everything has fallen apart. The center cannot hold anymore for Thika. Major players have left. There are no finances to sustain the operations, and I think it's now time for them to bid goodbye to top flight football.
Well, it's a big one on the Kenya Premier League. The season is actually coming to an end today, and we'll be giving you the fixtures of those matches. And another new season for the 2018-2019 will be kicking off in December 8th. It will be a tough one for the Kenya Premier League players because now it's a very short time of period and they'll be back in the game again. Well,
indeed it is, but then you got to understand the bit whereby FKF and KPL are trying to synchronize our local league to be in tandem with the international leagues. So we get our league starting in August and ending sometimes in April or May. So I think it's a good thing for football that we are now synchronizing our league to match what other international leagues are doing. Yes.
It's a big one that is coming up, by the biggest story so far, and we'll be discussing a little later in our program here today. It's actually Harambee Stars and the hurdles that they are going through as they are heading to Ethiopia. Actually, they have flown off today to Badria in Ethiopia.
Not really. Just a couple of players have flown to Ethiopia because the team has not trained together. And yesterday, the Football Kenya president, Nick Mwendo, said that some players will just fly directly to Ethiopia. He particularly said Victor Wanyama and Michael Olunga from Japan. So it's quite unfortunate that the team has not been able to train together and stay and come together. Now they're having to just fly to Ethiopia in batches, and I don't think that's a good thing, especially if now that Harambee Stars is on the verge of qualification for AFCON.
Because it is non-residential training here in Kasarani. You have got people leaving today, others leaving Monday morning. You have also got foreign players coming. It's a very tough debacle that we are going to discuss. And also, what does it mean for Sierra Leone to be banned by FIFA? Does Kenya have a straight path to 2019 now?
Well, there was some hype yesterday on social media with the pundits and fans saying that now Kenya just needs about 4 points to qualify for the AFCON after 14 years out in the cold. I think it's a very good thing for Kenyan football. I just hope that the wrangles and the squabbles we are in at the moment won't let us throw away this golden opportunity, I'd say, because Sierra Leone is banned by FIFA because of government interference. And now Harambee Stars has just the perfect chance to go back to AFCON after 14 years.
Well, let's listen in to the president of Football Kenya Federation, Nick Mwendo, on his appeal for funds for the Harambee Stars team.
But I'm pleased that we could beat a team like that. Now everybody in the team has got 3 points, and so we have an equal chance to qualify for Cup of Nations 2019.
Kenya's hopes of qualifying for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations for the first time in 14 years risks not being realized, as FKF President Nick Mwendwa has disclosed that the federation is unable to cater for all the costs for the upcoming trip to Ethiopia.
So we have gone up and down with the ministry, and yesterday they were able to send us 7.3 million of the 25 million we requested for. So today in the morning, the CEO has informed me that we have received 7.2 million, which only covers flights and accommodation. So as I speak to you, ladies and gentlemen, we do not have money to pay the players their allowances. We do not have money to pay the coaches their allowances and other logistics around Ethiopia.
This comes as Harambee Stars coach Sebastian Minye has returned to the federation, putting it on notice of unpaid salaries dating back 3 months.
As an individual, if you have not been paid for 3 months, how would you feel? You understand what I'm saying? So I know that he's motivated. I have had a chat with him. There's a way in which he wants to get a job done. It's a good job. He has put in writing and said, I need to be paid by 15th, all my monies. And I think that's the only issue. I think he's motivated to get the job done. I think he wants to get it done. If we meet our obligations, I think the coach is happy.
The federation has been struggling with matters finances since the exit of partner SportPesa and the decision by Kenya Revenue Authority to freeze their accounts due to a tax bill from the previous regime only worsens the current situation. Harambee Stars local-based players and coaches are scheduled to leave on Sunday evening for Ethiopia, with the foreign-based players joining them a day later. The team is scheduled to fly back immediately after the first leg on Wednesday, with the return leg match set for Sunday at the Kasarani Stadium.
Football Kenya Federation President there, Nick Mwendo, on his appeal for government for funds. It's a big question because day in, day out, the federation has been asking for money. But what can be the lasting solution for all this debacle? Away from football, actually, we go to matters rugby, where Paul Murunga, the Homeboys coach, has been named as the new Sevens coach. Does he have what it takes? Take over
well, as a player, Paul Pau, they call him that, has really given the country his best. He's been assistant at that level, and I think he knows what it takes to bring the best out of the team and take Kenya back to where it was. But then I think he faces a very big challenge first in terms of bringing back the winning mentality, because there's been so much inconsistency. And also too, the rugby union faces lack of finances at the moment. They have financial problems, just like the football federation. So I think those two are quite some hurdles for him. Again, he's going to the first leg in Dubai without 4 key players, amongst them Injera, Monde, Liège. So I think some of those are hurdles that he'll have to overcome. But well, let's give him the benefit of doubt. One of the best men for Kenyan rugby has been Benjamin Naimba, local coach. So we can only just support Paul Pau Murunga, and we hope the union will give him support as well.
You know, for me, what I like about this appointment is his run with Homeboys RFC. He has been using young players like Wandeto and all that, and he has won actually 3 of the series circuit so far. He's the defending champion in the circuit. And then the way he loves the young boys, I think he will be the first manager who will see a generational change in Kenya rugby, like the likes of Kayange have gone now. In Gerard, their last days in the Kenya rugby fraternity, and they are leaving. I know, like to see, because he was there in 2015, he was the assistant to Ayimba at the Singapore 7. So when we won that, I think he has something in him, and he can do something for Kenya rugby.
We cannot doubt the fact that Kenya has so many young talented players coming from the high school, the colleges. So I think for him it's just a matter of putting the team together and the team spirit and the support from the rugby union. I'm sure we can get back to our winning ways. But well, we start off with Dubai in December. Let's see what he has in the bag.
But Innocent Simiyu has also been led to handle the team for the Africa Sevens that will be happening in Tunisia on the 13th and 14th. Simiyu is going, but not bad luck for us, Kenya.
Well, Simiyu, well, he left not a very happy man because he felt he was sabotaged and he didn't deserve to go out in the manner that he did. But well, change is inevitable. He's left out, someone else has to come in. I think Wambua, he's the national team assistant, and Paul Pau Murunga are equally capable of doing the job. It's also important to mention that Wambua has won the Africa Women's Sevens. He's been the coach for the national sevens team, and he's won the continental title. So that also means that he's quite a capable coach.
Well, Paul Pau Murunga is actually named the Kenya Rugby Sevens coach, and his first assignment will be the Rugby Sevens actually here in November, before he heads also to the Dubai Sevens. I was looking for something about the Kenya youth team that is actually heading to Buenos Aires, Argentina for the Youth Olympics. Last year we had 5 gold medals from the Youth Olympics in 2014. Our under-18 boys, do you think they have what it takes for the Youth Olympics to come home with a medal?
Well, I think they do. The preparations, I'd say, have been a bit better compared to the last time. So for me, I think they have what it takes to come back home with the medals. Although, again, financial issues, it's just been a trend in the sports this year that most teams, most federations have not had the proper financial support. But in terms of the talent, we have what it takes to get out and come out with several medals for the country.
Those are actually the kids who will be going there. We actually have 20 players who will be heading to Buenos Aires to go and represent Kenya at the Youth Olympics that is actually starting today and will come to an end on the 20th. We have 9 players from the hockey team, and we have also Leonard Bett will be leading the team in the 1,500 meters. Away from the Youth Olympics, back to football, Mathare United has got a new sponsor in Odibets. Good for them, good riddance.
Well, Odidance, they say. It started off pretty well for them. Against because they signed the deal about 2 weeks back, officially unveiled this week on Wednesday. The first match in Odibet colours, they held the champions Gor Mahia 2-2 in Kisumu, which was a very good result for Mathare, considering the support Gor Mahia gets from Kisumu. So for me, it's a plus for football, it's a plus for Mathare. They were being sponsored by Betway early in the year, but then Betway pulled out because of the tax issues. Now they have a new sponsor on board, 60 million in the bank. That's very good for a team of Mathare's caliber, and I hope that next season we are going to see a more rejuvenated Mathare side.
Well, match day 2, Champions League winners and losers. Which was your best team that night?
Well, my best team was Barcelona, really. This season, Barcelona has gotten off the blocks in style. Messi is the Messi that you know. You remember the duel they had with our very own Victor Wanyama. And they say he messed up Victor Wanyama well.
Big time.
He did. But Barcelona, for me, very outstanding. You could see the class. Their goals against Tottenham, very good. Tottenham is a very good side for sure. And to score 4 past them, those kind of goals,
yeah.
I think for me Barcelona is a team to watch out this
for
season, both in the in the La Liga and in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But then again, important for me, or rather one outstanding fact, was Liverpool and Napoli.
Napoli, yeah.
I think Napoli, tactically, they outdid Liverpool.
Yes.
Just Liverpool looked a bit fatigued or what, because they've had very, very tight back-to-back matches, and I think that kind of affected them.
The question I have, people, it has been in the media domain that Jose Mourinho third season syndrome. Don't you think Klopp has also the same? Because with Borussia Dortmund, he went with the same run, Champions League final, you come back home, nothing. Results start to go down haywire. Do you think this might be the last shot for Klopp, or are also starting to go down?
I doubt you can call it the last shot, because when Klopp came in, he had a formation he wanted, he had a philosophy he wanted to implement at Liverpool, fast attacking football, running players with full of energy. So he's brought in the right players into the team. He's done that over some 2 or 3 years. The Mo Salah, the Naby Keita's now. He's brought in the right players, sealed the defense, brought in Alisson at the back. So for me, he's implementing a philosophy, and we're just starting to see it. In the domestic league, he's done very well. You got to give it to him. That, I think, is his first hurdle before even we go to the Champions League. I think last season, to get to the finals of the Champions League was a big plus for him.
But now he has to conquer home first for him to conquer Europe.
Indeed, he has to conquer home first, and I think they are among the top horses for the Premiership this season. If you look at how Liverpool are playing vis-a-vis other teams, I think Liverpool and City and maybe Chelsea are the league front runners.
Well, it's a big conversation here. That's just a sneak preview of what we are going to have from the fan zone. We are going to be discussing everything from the English Premier League. What's next for Jose Mourinho? Is it a done deal for him? And what's wrong with Manchester United? It's a question that I'll be posing on the fan zone, and we'll be discussing this and much more in detail. For right now, we are going into a break with a nostalgic feel of Eliud Kipchoge marathon running from back in the day in 2003, when he left the 5,000 meters mark to join the marathon in 2004. And since then, he has won 10 of 11 marathons that he has been running in. Tomorrow, we have the Chicago Marathon, and Eliud has won one of the Chicago marathons. But for now, let's see how he was performing in all those marathons. When we come back, it will be a big conversation on what is happening in Kenyan football with case in point, Harambee Stars.